Hey Chelsea, so it appears that I totally and completely fail at following my own rules about posting 2 videos a week, but you know what, I'm just lame like that. So we're just going to have to sort of ignore that, and I will post 3 videos this week, 2 for this week and 1 for last week. I did actually have a video made, but then I was just like really lazy and I didn't really want to edit it, and this is the result. Anyway, it seems that in addition to being extremely lazy, I'm also very forgetful. And as a result, I've forgotten to put in this clip for the past 2 videos. I meant to include it in with the hula video, but then I completely forgot. My sister took that little stalker video of that little girl, but she was so adorable! It appears that the hula dancers are not the only ones who can dance hula. So I had in mind to do this big video about all the great things in Hawaii. One of the most important things being all the great food that they have there. But then I was like, that video is going to be really hard to make because first of all, I'm going to have to take pictures of just food, and then second of all, you're going to have to sit there and watch all those photos of food. But then I decided, you know what? You're a good friend to me and you'll sit through that. So, haha, here's my video about all the great food in Hawaii. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I've come to call Hawaii the land of good eats, and that's because, well, it's entirely true. Ugh, I ate so much food there. Hawaii has a ton of different kinds of cultural foods that exist mostly only over there, and we don't have them over here on what they call the mainland. Namely, when I think of Hawaii, I think of this great stuff called shave ice. And it's basically sort of like a snow cone, only 100 times better. Snow cones over here on the mainland are usually just chunks of ice cubes, essentially, with syrup poured on top. But shave ice is a whole other thing entirely. While it's generally the same concept as snow cones, the ice is shaved much more finely. That's why it's called shave ice. They actually shave the ice off of this ice block. And then they add all sorts of different flavors to it. So there isn't just like blue raspberry, cherry, fruit punch, whatever. They have amazing flavors like mango, guava, lychee, coconut or haupia, root beer, honeydew, all these exotic flavors, and it's so good! So of course, when I went to Hawaii, one of the first things we had to do was stop by the #1 shave ice place, Matsumoto's. Matsumoto's, the famous shave ice store. Excellent. Very creative video, as you can see there, but I can assure you that it was excellent. Another place we went to in Hawaii is this great Japanese department store called Shirakiya. Now Shirakiya sells all sorts of manner of things. It sells furniture, electronics, arts and crafts, statues, I mean like, you name it, they have it. They even have expensive jewelry along with the toasters and things like that. But anyway, of most importance to me is that they sell great food. They sell great Japanese food and Hawaiian food and sort of a mixture in between the two. There are a ton of Japanese immigrants and Japanese tourists to Hawaii, and of course that makes Hawaii pretty unique. They have this wonderful island fusion blend of like Hawaiian, Polynesian, Japanese cultures. It ends up giving you some great tasting stuff. Like these great looking Spam macadamia nuts. Or this takoyaki dog. Takoyaki, by the way, is fried octopus. You could also have a katsu sandwich, which I've never seen before and doesn't sound very appetizing to me. Or this mixture of interesting stuff. I think is tofu and an egg? But now on to the real stuff. Yum! Oreo-filled taiyaki. Taiyaki is a Japanese dessert which is essentially a pancake filled with yummy fillings. Unfortunately, I didn't get to try this Oreo one. I also had different kinds of musubi, or rice balls, and I think this one had salmon, Spam, plum, seaweed. Yummer, some of my favorites, Vietnamese shrimp wrap. All that other food you just saw was from Shirakiya, but this, my friend, is wedding food. It was an interesting mix of Hawaiian and Vietnamese food, but it was oh so good. And one of my favorite places that we went was Bubby's, which obviously makes homemade ice creams and desserts. But I mean, they made all sorts of different kinds of flavors, which were wonderful. Look at all these different kinds of ice cream flavors. I really want to try them all. Hawaii also apparently has some very interesting produce. This apparently is Chinese squash. It was frickin' huge. And this is a full of flavor temptation melon. Do you see anything wrong with it though? Why yes, that's right, the sign says product of USA, but the sticker says product of Mexico. Well, that's enough about food for now. I'm sure you're bored out of your mind, and I will be back soon. Stay tuned.